It was just another ordinary day at work, or so I thought. I had been handling deadlines, reports, and meetings, completely unaware that today would turn into one of the most surreal and unsettling experiences of my life. I walked into the office kitchen to grab a cup of coffee, only to notice a quiet conversation taking place by the corner of the room. My heart skipped when I realized my wife Emily was there. Not alone but leaning in, whispering to my boss, Mr. Harrison. I paused, pretending not to notice, though every instinct screamed at me to intervene. Whispering always feels conspiratorial, and seeing the two people I trusted most, exchanging words in secrecy, triggered a sharp edge of suspicion. My mind raced. Were they talking about work matters or something far more personal? The air felt heavier, charged with tension I couldn't yet identify. Emily noticed my gaze but didn't react. Her subtle glance, calm and unreadable, sent shivers down my spine. I forced myself to stay composed. Over the past months I had learned that reacting too soon, showing anger or suspicion, often gave others the upper hand. Silence, observation, and patience were my weapons. I sipped my coffee slowly, pretending to check emails while my mind replayed every possible scenario. My boss turned slightly, whispering something I couldn't hear clearly, and Emily responded with a quiet nod. The way she smiled, it wasn't the usual warmth I expected. It was calculated, contained, and almost teasing. Every detail mattered. The tilt of her head, the subtle movements of her hands, the way she adjusted her posture when she realized I was watching. I had learned to read people long ago, to notice patterns, lies, and hidden motives. This was a puzzle, and it demanded attention. For a brief moment, I considered confronting them immediately, demanding an explanation. But I knew better. My reactions had to be deliberate. Hasty words could escalate tension or ruin the advantage I didn't even fully understand yet. I stayed, watched, and let them continue, documenting every detail mentally, preparing for the moment when the truth would reveal itself. Fully, undeniably, and in a way that would leave no room for manipulation or excuses. Minutes passed, and the whispering continued, subtle yet deliberate. I stayed calm, pretending to be absorbed in my emails, but every fiber of my being was alert. My heart raced, not out of panic but anticipation. Over the past years I had learned one undeniable truth. Secrecy almost always reveals more than it hides. And right now the truth was inching closer to the surface. Emily leaned closer, her lips barely moving, as if she was sharing the most confidential information in the world. Mr. Harrison's expression was unreadable, composed, yet the slight twitch at the corner of his mouth suggested amusement, or perhaps guilt. I didn't know yet. I only knew that my instincts were screaming. Something significant was happening, and it involved both of them. I recalled the subtle signs from the past few weeks, the extra calls Emily took, the hurried texts she deleted, the vague explanations about work-related meetings that never existed. None of it made sense at the time, but now, observing this exchange, the pieces began to align. Betrayal is often quiet, hidden in layers of normalcy, and I had almost overlooked the patterns. Almost. Finally, Emily pulled back slightly, as if completing her message. Her eyes briefly met mine, and for a moment I could see hesitation, the smallest crack in her composure. That tiny slip was all I needed to know that this wasn't just an innocent conversation. My patience, my observation, and my refusal to react impulsively had positioned me perfectly. I was ready for the moment of revelation, ready to confront the truth on my terms. I approached slowly, my movements deliberate, ensuring that I maintained control of the situation. Emily straightened, a faint, nervous smile trying to mask the tension. Mr. Harrison glanced at me, and I saw the subtle recognition that things were about to shift. The room felt smaller, the air thicker, and the quiet hum of the office faded into the background. All that remained was the inevitable collision of truth, observation, and consequence. And then, in a voice calm but unmistakably firm, I spoke. "I think it's time you both explained exactly what you were discussing," I said. Silence followed. My words had landed unyielding, leaving no room for evasion. The moment I had anticipated, the moment my patience had prepared me for, had arrived. The calm before revelation, the tension before confession. It was all mine to command. The silence lingered, thick and heavy. Emily's nervous smile faltered, and Mr. Harrison's composed exterior showed a subtle crack. For a brief moment, I realized the gravity of the situation. Both of them had been caught in their own web of secrecy. I didn't need to raise my voice, threaten, or act impulsively. The truth, revealed at the right moment, had a power far greater than any argument could. Finally, Emily spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's not what you think," she said, but the hesitation betrayed her. Her usual confidence, the smirk I had once found infuriating, was gone. I remained silent, letting her words hang in the air. Every pause, every falter was evidence. I had learned long ago that confrontation isn't always about speaking. It's about observing, waiting, and letting truth expose itself. Mr. Harrison cleared his throat, glancing between us. "It was work-related mostly," he said cautiously, but his tone lacked conviction. I could see the mental calculations, the careful wording designed to protect both of them. But the moment of power had shifted. For months, Emily's whispers and evasions had created tension in my life. But now the control was mine. Calm, measured, and deliberate, I held the space, making it clear that evasion would no longer work. I stepped closer, maintaining eye contact, letting the weight of silence do its work. Emily's shoulders slumped slightly, the first sign of genuine vulnerability I had seen in months. The smirk, the playful confidence, the subtle manipulations, all of it had vanished, replaced by the quiet acknowledgement that her actions had consequences. This was the moment she realized that secrecy cannot survive when faced with observation, clarity, and resolve. Then, in a tone soft yet undeniably firm, I spoke. "Whatever it was, it doesn't matter anymore. What matters is honesty from this moment forward." Her eyes widened, a mixture of fear, guilt, and understanding flashing across her face. Mr. Harrison nodded slightly, conceding that the unspoken tension was now exposed. The room, once charged with secrecy, now carried a different energy, one of clarity, boundaries, and the undeniable shift in control. By the end of the day, nothing explosive had happened, yet everything had changed. Emily and I had faced the truth, and the dynamic between us would never be the same. Sometimes the most stunning moments aren't loud or dramatic. They're quiet, deliberate, and inevitable. The whispers had been heard, the truth revealed, and I walked away knowing that observation, patience, and calm authority could uncover realities no smirk or secrecy could hide.